Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I will show you the simple algorithm of how to check the balance bracket. What is the balance bracket? Balance bracket means that its opening symbol has a corresponding closing symbol and the pair of the brackets are properly negative. Look at this example. For the first example, this is a balance bracket. The pair of the brackets are properly negative and it match together. For the second example, it's not a balance bracket. The second and the third element is not matched. For the third example, the first element is closing bracket, so it's not a balance bracket. The last example is not a balance bracket also. There are many ways to solve the problem. So today I will show you how to use stack. First, we need to define a map to store a list of brackets inside input string. In this simple example, we only have square bracket and rounding brackets. So we will store those values inside the map. And we use stack to store the list of open brackets. For the first element, you see open brackets. So we will put inside the stack. For the second element, it also open brackets. We continue put inside the stack. For third element, is the closing brackets. So we will pop up one element from stack. The open bracket will be written. Then we will use that value as a key inside the map to get the corresponding value, which is closing bracket. The closing bracket will be checked with the input string. If it match, so we continue to proceed another element. If it doesn't match, we return that it's not a balance bracket. The next element is square closing bracket. This is a closing bracket, so we get one element from stack. This is open brackets. So we will check. We will use this open square bracket as a key inside the map to get the corresponding closing bracket, which is closing square bracket inside the map here, and check it with the input string. In this case, it match. We continue to process a next element. Because no element, so we just return that is a balance bracket. With this algorithm, the time complexity is n. First of all, if we have n element, so the time complexity will be n. In this example, we only have 4 elements, so the time complexity should be 4. So that is the constant. Next, we will implement the algorithm using Java programming language, but you can use other programming language also. First, we need to define a main method that we use to test the application. We need to implement the check balance brackets with one argument. Inside the check balance bracket, we will define a map to store a list of the bracket that we use inside the input string. In this example, I define three kind of brackets: curly brackets, square bracket, and rounding brackets. But if you have more brackets, so you can add more value inside the math also. Then I define a flag to store the return value. If it is true, we know that it's a balanced bracket, but otherwise it should be unbalanced bracket. We use stack to store a list of open brackets inside input string. The stack is empty. So for each element inside input string, we check the element if it's the open brackets. So we will add the element inside the stack. But if the element is closing brackets, so we get the value from the stack and use it as a key inside the math to get the corresponding value, and we check with the value from the input string. If it match, we continue to process, but if it doesn't match, we just assign flag at a for and break the for loop. Then we also need to check to make sure that stack is empty. If it's not empty, we just assign flag is for, and then we return flag here. Now the time to run the test. So let me run it to see. In this example, it's obviously that's the balanced bracket. It should return true. Well, it's written true here. So I just change the input string to unbalanced bracket. For example, this one, like this. Yeah, this is unbalanced brackets, right? So we just run it again to see what happened. It should be returned 4. Yeah, it is return 4. Yeah. That's all. If you have any comment, please post the comments. I will reply all of them. And every week I try to find some interesting problem, and we try to solve it. Have a good day. Bye.